your CIGTV News Brief, the community news and weather forecast. I'm Donna Bush. We begin with the latest from Minister for Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure, the Honourable Joseph Hew. Our CIGTV crew sat with Minister Hew to hear what plans are in store for our road system in 2020.
I think we got the morning traffic flowing okay, not perfect, but again, I think it's quite reasonable considered some other places around the world. Yeah. And now we're starting to tweak and work on the evening traffic going home, and those are the short-term measures that we took. We continue with those. We'll be opening the third lane at the Hurley's Roundabout very soon. We'll also be developing a third lane at the Chrissy Tomlinson Roundabout. You will see that work has started on expanding the piece of the east-west arterial from the Chrissy Tomlinson Roundabout up to the by the Seafield football field into 4 lanes all the way up, and then we have intentions to continue that at least up to the next roundabout, where we hope to connect that into Newlands as well. So we'll continue to expand the lanes. The long term and some under design right now is to go 6 lanes. First from the Chrissy Tomlinson roundabout, where the space is already there, all the way down to the Hurley's roundabout. And you'll see that we did 1 merge lane, but we'll eventually be making it 3 lanes going east, 3 lanes going west, so 6 lanes all the way down. And then we have a little more of a challenge from Hurley's to the King's roundabout, but we're working on that to have 3 lanes on either side, east and west, on that stretch of road as well. And so we'll continue to develop that. The Linford Pearson Highway here from the CMB roundabout up to the Tortuga roundabout, and then completing it up to Agnes Way. We are finishing up some designs in that. We think we have a solution that makes all of our landowners happy, and we hope to get that completed and gazetted within the coming weeks, and start construction in that within the summer period as well. So that is the eastern end of the island, and of course we know that we are taking the east-west arterial from Newlands up to Lookout in Bodden Town. So we've started some work on that. The final designs are being created right now, and we are doing an environmental impact assessment. Will have to be done on portions of that as well. So we're working through those right now.
And we invite you to join us on CIGTV News Brief on Wednesday to hear more from Minister Hew on other subject areas. Well, in just 13 days, men and women of the Cayman Islands will be recognized during the annual National Heroes Day celebration event. Chief of Protocol Melanie Sims explains more about the Caymanians who will be awarded, including the first group of female parliamentarians from 1959.
This year's National Heroes Day theme is centered around our Constitution. So we're heralding the first written Constitution and those people who pioneered it, as well as a little known fact that has now been established and will be established as National Heroes Day this year, heralding the first 4 women who stood in general election. In the general election for the Cayman Islands, the first 4 women who bravely stood up and said, we are going to run and be recognized. So National Heroes Day is a day of enjoyment, of national pride, and we invite the entire Cayman Islands to come out. Every year we do this differently, we do it bigger, and we have lots in store. We're inviting vendors to submit their proposals to be considered to offer their fare at the Heroes Day celebrations. And the proposal deadline is this Friday by 5 p.m. Proposals can be submitted to the Government Administration Building in person or by emailing nationalevents@gov.ky.
And again, you're invited to Heroes Day, which takes place at Heroes Square in downtown Georgetown. It all happens on Monday, January 27th. And of course, you are invited. Please stay tuned for more details on that. Meantime, Christmas is gone, so it's now time for the Department of Environmental Health to mulch those real Christmas trees. The department is encouraging all residents who purchase natural Christmas trees to take part in their annual Christmas tree recycling program. Bins have now been placed where the public can drop off the trees as they do each year. The locations include the Spots Dock, the cricket grounds in Georgetown, and the Georgetown landfill's 24-hour drop-off site. Now, anyone taking part in the Christmas tree recycling program are asked to remove all wires and ornaments from the trees before, of course, placing them in the collection bins. The DEH says trees will be collected and mulched in the landfill and then taken to the cricket grounds next to the farmers market in Georgetown for public collection. It all happens on Saturday, January 25th, starting at 8 in the morning. Now, for more information from the DEH, you can reach them on 949-66966, or you can email them at dehcustomerservice@gov.ky. Now for a check on other community stories making Radio Cayman headlines today. Leadership Cayman turns its attention to culture and heritage. The Chamber of Commerce Leadership Cayman program is a 6-month intensive course that enables class members to develop new skills and learn an abundance of vital information about the Cayman Islands community and business sector. At the recent event, participants dressed in costumes and outfits representing their various nationalities. They went to Pedro St. James and they were joined by some of Cayman's educators and historian as this special event and as part of the Chamber of Commerce's annual Leadership Cayman event. All right, well, you can check out the Radio Cayman website, radiocayman.gov.ky, for more on this particular story or other community news making headlines there. Turning now to today's weather forecast from the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. Fresh easterly winds and rough seas will continue for the next 24 hours as a high-pressure system moves over the western Atlantic Ocean with a tight pressure gradient across the northwest Caribbean. Radar images show westward moving showers in and around the Cayman Islands. Today's high temperature reached 84 degrees with partly cloudy skies and a 30% chance of rainfall. Winds are easterly 15 to 20 knots. Seas are rough with wave heights of 6 to 8 feet. A small craft warning is still in effect. Remember, you can go online to weather.gov.ky for the latest from them there. Also, you can check out their Facebook page or the weather radio dial 107.9 FM. They also have an app that you can download, CINWS. That's the latest from us here at CIG Television. If you missed today's news brief, you can go to the Cayman Islands Government Facebook page or the CIG Television YouTube channel. Donna Bush, thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
Boating, fishing, and water sports in the Cayman Islands are great, but keep a cool head. Here are 7 tips for fun and safe sea outings. Number 1. Use a checklist to plan your outing. Check the weather forecast, make a float plan, and share it with someone who is remaining on land, stating where you're going, with whom, and when you're expected to return. Visit your nearest marine supply store to get your safety gear. This includes signaling mirrors, whistles, and a flare kit. It's also very important to have onboard flotation devices and life vests for each person. There are different types of vests. Some are for water sport activities such as snorkeling, and others are for going on offshore boating or on fishing trips. Number 2. These items can be lifesavers in case of an accident or bad weather. Number 3. Use a motor kill switch, especially if you're boating alone. In case of a leak or breakdown, always stay with the boat until help arrives. If you capsize, an emergency beacon or locator device can send a distress signal to inform the authorities of your location. Larger flares will indicate distress to a boat, airplane, or search and rescue officials. Number 4. In addition to sunscreen, food, and beverages, it would be smart to have a cell phone. Make sure your marine radio works. Cayman's boaters use Channel 16 to communicate. Number 5. Also, don't forget your anchor and sufficient rope. Number 6. Boat operators should be familiar with the local waters and reefs, as well as the capabilities and functions of the vessels they are using. Always obey the rules of the sea and the marine environment, and have courtesy for others. Number 7. Alcohol and salt water do not mix. especially if you're the captain. Some useful contact numbers are 911. The RCIPS Marine Base is 649-7710, and the Port Authority is 949-2055. Smooth sailing, all!
Did you know that planning permission is required for a shed? Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required? Did you know that planning permission is required for an addition, alteration, or any material change to your house? The 10% rule no longer exists. Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required? Did you know your mailing address details on your land register must be up to date in order to receive notices on new development which may impact you? Visit Lands and Survey Department to check your mailing address is correct. Did you know that walls, fences located along the road require planning permission no matter the height? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required. Did you know that fences and walls within the high water setback require planning permission no matter the height? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required. Did you know that a trellis structure requires planning permission? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required. Did you know that a deck more than 6 inches above finished grade requires planning permission? Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required? Did you know that planning permission is required for a sign? Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required? Did you know planning permission is required to clear land by mechanical means? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required. Did you know you should check with the department before leasing a property or unit for a business as a planning and permit application may be required?
The Esterly-Tibbetts Highway 3-lane roundabout is ready for drivers. It's time to make sure you know how to use it. First, know which exit you need to take. Pay attention to lane arrows and signs. Make sure you use your signal to change lanes or exit the roundabout. To turn left, you always approach in the left-hand lane and indicate left. To drive straight ahead, you need to be looking out for signs and road markings indicating which lane to use. Get in one of the lanes marked with a straight-through arrow. If turning right, you must use the right-hand lane and indicate accordingly. To use the roundabout safely, remember these 3 tips. Know your exit, pick your lane, and signal to make your turn.
The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service has launched a new service to apply for a police clearance certificate online. To make this process quick and easy, ensure you have digital copies of all required documents readily available. At a minimum, you'll need a copy of your passport photo page. Our website lists the full requirements. If you are using an Apple iOS or Android mobile device, you can use the camera to take photos of these documents while completing your application. After you have read the instructions and are ready to start, type in the alphanumeric string from the CAPTCHA image and click the green button that says Start Application. If you can't read the letters and numbers properly, click Can't Read Image below the photo to try again. To complete your application, you will follow 5 simple steps. These are shown at the top of each page, and the blue circle will always show where you are right now. Enter the requested data in each field. All fields marked with an asterisk are required. Each field has some help information, and please pay attention to the correct format for dates and telephone numbers in particular. When selecting your birthday, you can also use the calendar feature. If a field has a drop-down list, you can scroll through alphabetically or start typing to find the correct option. You will be asked to enter your email address twice to ensure it's correct. This is the address we will use to send you a confirmation email and receipt. Once you have entered all of the required information, click Next at the bottom of the screen. If you click the Cancel Application button at any stage in the process, you will lose everything you've entered so far and be returned to the home page. On this page, answer the questions about past offenses, provide details if relevant, and then click Next. In this step, you will select the type of service being requested and details of the person applying, as well as anyone who might pick up the certificate on his or her behalf. If you select certain options, more information may be required at this stage or later in the process when you are uploading your documents. Finally, select the reasons you are applying and then click Next. If you make a mistake, use the drop-down menu to change the reason or click the red X to delete a line. Remember, if you click the Cancel Application button at any stage in the process, you will lose everything you've entered so far and be returned to the home page. If you need to go back to a previous page to review or change data you already entered, you can use the Back button. You can also navigate through the process using the links at the top of the page. On this page, you will be asked for the relevant digital documents to support your application. On each line, click the Upload icon, select the correct file, and then click Upload. Repeat this process for each document. Based on the information you've already entered, this page will tell you the basic documents required. However, please remember to read the guidance notes to ensure you've included everything for your particular application. You can click the Upload More Documents button if you need to add more files, using the Comments field to briefly explain the additional documents you are submitting. If you go back to previous sections after uploading documents and make changes that affect these requirements, you may need to re-upload your documents. This is the final page before submission. Please review all information provided to ensure it is accurate and complete. You won't be able to change anything on this page, but you can use the Back button or the links at the top of the page to return to earlier pages and update any field. By submitting this application, you are declaring that the information provided is accurate and truthful. If you are satisfied with your application, click Proceed to Online Payment. You may need to allow pop-ups and then click the button again to show the payment screen where you will enter your debit or credit card information. The Cayman Islands government accepts Visa and MasterCard, and you can use a debit or credit card issued anywhere in the world. Payment will be processed in Cayman Islands dollars for local service and in United States dollars for overseas service. If you have questions about any exchange rate that will be used or foreign currency transaction fees, please contact the bank that issued your card. The Cayman Islands government will not receive or retain your card information. Once your online payment has been authorized, you can view and print your receipt. Click Continue to return to our webpage for details on pickup date and time. If there is an issue with your application and we have to contact you for more information, your application may be delayed. You will also receive a confirmation email with this information and your official receipt. Please remember to bring your passport for identification when you collect your certificate from the Criminal Records Office.